Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the channel. This video I'm actually going to be installing a cold air scoop that draws cold air from the bumper area on the GTR and actually channels that cold air up to where the intakes are at. I actually got this piece from a friend of mine that's on the GTR UK forums. He actually sells them, and I'll put a link down in the description to where you can get them. He actually sells them on eBay, so you can actually pick one of these up for yourself if you're interested. This video is just actually going to be me showing how to actually get that installed, so that way if you wanted to pick one up, you'll be able to install it yourself at your house. So let's get into it. Alright, so here's the kit. It actually comes with this scoop, which is a really nice piece. It's 3D printed. The guy that makes this part actually designs parts for Ford Europe for a living, so you could tell it's actually this is actually really incredibly designed piece. So it actually has some micro adjustments as well on the top. So you can see once you actually have this thing installed, you can actually see that it will slide 3 millimeters left to right. Sometimes you might have to have small micro adjustments to be able to actually make this fit to your car, so that's pretty handy of having that small adjustment like that. And then it has this 60 millimeter tube, which is made of aluminum, and it fits on over the intakes like that, and then you route the intakes up into and behind the headlight to get the cold air drawn in from under the bumper and into the engine compartment. It comes with this little locator piece that helps you to find out where you're going to mark to drill. After you use this to mark to drill, then you can throw it away. Alright, let's go get things set up and put it in the car. So this actually comes with a set of instructions that you can follow as well. It shows you where to put it. But this is the area that we are working on down here in the bottom corner, and shows you how to put the template and where to mark so that you can drill, and then how to attach the tubes, and then route them up into the engine compartment, and then get everything bolted down like that. And this is how the scoop looks when it's attached to the front bumper. So this air scoop won't necessarily work for everybody. The scoop actually sits down in the passenger's front bumper area, so if you have a oil cooler that occupies the same space, then this probably will not fit for you. But if, like me, your car still has the standard oil cooler, it fits down in this space just fine. Also, if you have an oil cooler that sits either behind the radiator or in front of the radiator behind the intercooler, or in that general front part of the engine compartment, then this will also work for you as well. So here's the front passenger headlight, and this is the area you're going to be working right down here on this bumper bar. Alright, so on this little piece right here, you can actually see it's got a small arrow, if you can see that. Hopefully, yep, you can see the arrow. The arrow needs to be facing the front of the car, and then you're actually going to take, there's a small ledge here, if you can see that. See how it's a small ledge? That edge needs to go to the end of this bar right here. And then you set it up. Take a little marker, mark from underneath, and then you'll be able to drill your holes and be ready to go. Alright, I got the holes drilled now, and just use my file to shave down the last little few bits there. Now you mount the, make sure that the bracket is on here, and then we'll screw it in, and we'll go. Alright, now you can see it's mounted, and you leave these screws here loose, so that way it can actually be slid back and forth based off of how your bumper fits. 2 screws mount in underneath like that, up in here to these cavities, and holds it all into place. Something I want to point out here before we go any further. The instructions say that this ledge should fit all the way up to the edge of this bumper beam. However, there is a small problem where that piece of reinforcement, so this bumper beam is reinforced by this piece of metal right back here, and so you can see it a little bit better through here. But if you look at this, there's interference. There's interference right here on that piece of plastic. So what you actually have to do is line up, so this is offset slightly before you start drilling. And basically you can use this template to line it up from the top, so that way this edge sits right up on the piece of that reinforcement right here. Okay, so you want to have, hopefully this makes sense, you want that arrow facing the front of the car, which is this way, and then you want to have, actually, you know what, I'll take this, I'll unscrew this and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hang on one second. Okay, normally what the instruction said was you want this edge to be all the way up and all the way back. Well, what I found was the manufacturing tolerances from Nissan, this bumper piece interferes with, or this piece of reinforcement interferes, and so what you need is to actually line this thing up where the back edge sits along the back side, and then you want to have this edge right here sitting up against that reinforcement. So you want it to sit just like this, like that. And now you can see, hopefully, that this edge is all the way flush to the back, but you can actually see that this is offset slightly. Then you want to make your dots with your Sharpie right there. Now what I did was I put the dots like this. I did a test fitting, and then I transferred it to the underneath the same size, so you can actually see where it holds off a little bit, but you can see how I drilled the hole underneath, and then that actually ended up working fine. So for some reason these bumper beam widths right here from Nissan are not the same for all the cars. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful. That should get everything lined up for you. And yeah, so let's get this thing done. We'll cut the tubes so we can put that up through here. We'll get the whole bumper back on and we'll be ready to go. Alright, so the next step is to cut this tube here. The instructions say cutting it 60-40. So that's what I'm going to do. So you cut it 60-40, and then the longer piece will go to the back intake, and then the shorter piece will go to the front intake. This metal pipe actually expands quite a bit if you pull on it, so that should work well, making it reach through. And yeah, so let's do that now. Alright, got two pieces now. Let's go put them on. Alright, let's push this tube through here. There we go. Both tubes go up through there, and then the second pipe will basically drop air right over where this second filter goes, and the first filter is right there, pumping cool air in right there. Alright, I'm going to reassemble all this really quick and show you what it all looks like at the very end. Alright, I got everything reassembled now. So that's the first pipe there that directs air up to the front of the two filters. If you can see down in there, that is the second of the pipes that directs air up to the rear filter. Alright, hopefully that's helpful if you pick one of these up yourself. It's a really simple install, it doesn't take too long. Yeah, so big shout out to Scott for taking the time to engineer these things and then manufacture them. So if you wanted to pick one up for yourself, you can pick them up on eBay now.